all day long.
That's badass. Hell yeah, some ale.
I'll take a cup or 2 or 10. I mean 2. I'll take
10.
You're furry, and you like to drink. We're best friends, basically.
Basically.
So
I'll take a beer and some meatballs, please. Famous
Own it.
Zoba meatballs.
famous wolf balls at the Demon. That's right. That's right. Anyone else?
Zogar, I would also like to try some of that vampire steak. I hear it's like the best.
He's the best. You'll not be let down.
Oh yeah, or do you make it yourself?
Well, you know, when the time is right and the moon strikes high in the sky, oh Zokar, we go outside, my son and I, and when we step off, we find them blaspheming vampires, and we run them right through, we cut them up, and we serve them up to everyone here.
Oh, Zokar, you're such a manly man.
Basically.
Solis just puts his palm on his face, shakes his head.
Now there's a
some
lot
of that shots. Why don't you do a shot with me, Zokar? How about that? That's really gonna start this morning off correct.
He nods. He'll go to the bar and start pouring drinks for Mogar and bring back something that's a bit more akin to a person your size. Now the tavern is a great place to start gaining information.
Yes, that's what I was gonna hit on.
Yeah.
So, is it accustomed to? I mean, are satyrs rare, or because I don't, that's gonna probably affect a lot of things.
Definitely.
Okay. But I'm beautiful.
I mean, you are. Your charisma is like bar none. You're off the charts. You're very handsome. You're very wordy, and you're like everyone's best friend.
Yeah. So what's his? So Zokar, I wouldn't mind having some steak with my drinks as well. How long do you think it's gonna take, or is it already prepared?
Well, we start preparing the moment you walk in. See, the secret is that I only serve 3 things. That's how I know everyone's going to eat them.
No, but I kind of like mine cooked a certain way. I like it a little bit more on the rare side than cooked well. Is that that's too much for ask for?
You mean
He looks at Symarra and lifts his eyebrow. Very well. I'll take that. I'm going to go around Symarra and just see what this place is all about. So he stands up and he starts to walk towards some of the crowd. He notices random people, women, men alike, and starts to walk his way towards that crowd.
People are a little befuddled at your sight, despite how handsome you may actually be and how well worded you are. You are still not a human, right? You're not one of the common races, so they're a little off-put. Maybe some of the children here are, they're laughing. They're probably kicking with glee at the sight of a stranger in town. But the adults are like, when you approach, like, no, shush. Don't talk to strangers, no.
So I flick an eyebrow up, look at a kid, make a funny face, make them laugh, and then look towards who spoke. Is this person going to have a name, or is this a rando?
This is one of the villagers of the town.
Okay. So looks at the villagers and say, you have quite the child there. Very adventurous smile.
She kind of leans into her child and slowly puts her arm up over her daughter's arm. Yes, we've taught them well.
Oh, I can see that. Very well. Have you ever spoke to a satyr before? It seems you're a bit nervous. Can I... Leans in. Make this a little bit more comfortable for you. I'm new to town, as you see, and I would just have a little bit of questions.
Give me a diplomacy.
I don't mind paying.
Give me a diplomacy.
Okay. All right. How do I do this? You have to explain this to me.
So in right here, I'm actually going to ping it for you. Right here, you're going to type in /R space 1d20.
1v20?
1d20. It's going to look like that.
D20. Gotcha.
And then you're going to add in, so after the 1d20, add a plus and whatever your diplomacy is. So look on your character sheet. Diplomacy is on the right-hand side.
Diplomacy. Okay. It's an 8, I think. That line. Yeah, 8.
Yeah, okay, so roll 1d20 plus 8.
Okay, 1v20 plus
Good.
8.
That's really, really high. Okay, so... It's not exceptional. You haven't shifted them to a point where they dislike you, but they're still a little wary. What do you mean, something that's a bit more comfortable? I think it's plenty comfortable from where you are.
He rears back a little bit. Understandable. Well, let's start with names. My name is Solis. I come from a faraway land. I come in peace. So, do you have a name?
I'll tell you mine, but you leave my children alone, please. My name is Persimmon.
Oh, Persimmon. Wonderful, wonderful name. He looks at the child and he smiles. He said, absolutely, I wouldn't dare want to bring any harm towards anyone that's here. I just have a few questions. Look, I understand my appearance may not be the best, but I can assure you that I am a gentleman.
Can I have my ale? And I go see Mogar at the bar.
Okay. Say that one more time, DJ. I missed that last part, please.
I just said, I may have a strange appearance, but I can assure you that I am very much of a gentleman type.
Well, as I've taught my children and my mother taught me, judge not a book by its cover, lest ye be judged.
Absolutely. So he rears up and pulls up a stool next to him and sits down, kind of crosses his legs, and stands very much in attention to her. Go on. Very good teachings. Now, it seems like around here everyone is, very to themselves. I have coin. Have you eaten anything savory lately?
Before her is an empty plate. She seems to be, like I said, a local. And if she's coming to the Laughing Demon, it's likely that she has eaten. The variety is sparse. Remember, vegetation is very limited in this town. So it's a lot of meats and cheeses, but very, very little vegetation. And maybe if you had some coercion with Cypress, it might work with you, but under this...
Well, there's a reason why I'm saying that, is because I was like, what would be your favorite dish here? I am new here, like I said, and I am dying of hunger. What is your favorite dish? He's just trying to, lighten the mood.
Sure.
Trying to get away from, constantly badgering her.
Well, I'm quite partial to the corpse chowder.
Do say so. What's so good about it? He leans in.
It's just rich and hearty, and it will stick to your ribs.
Absolutely. Excellent. Well, he knows that he's not going to get anywhere with this lady at the moment, but he's not giving up. So he's going to get up and he's like, well, thank you very much for your time. And again, wonderful kid, our child. And I'll be dining over there if you have any questions, or if you happen to have any information or anything for me about the Laughing Demon that I could share with my friends, it'd be great. We're just right over there. Points towards Symarra and Mogar.
She
Which
kind of
probably wasn't a good idea because Mogar's huge.
Yeah, she kind of winces for a moment, and her head kind of falls down. She's like, "What you mean information about the demon?"
Well, it's a quite interesting place. And these plays stupid. They speak of vampires and wolves. Quite the scare. I wonder how they prepare these steaks in bowls. And what's actually in the chowder? He kind of laughs. Tries to get some kind of hysterical moment out of her.
Give me a sense motive.
Is this where I need to roll again?
Yes.
Okay. So, all right. I can do this.
1d20 plus your sense motive.
/R 1d20 plus the sense. Okay. My sense. Sense motive is 4. So +4.
Yep. Okay. She seems like she's kind of withholding the information, but she wants to, right? It's that moment when you find someone that has almost like a rumor that they want to tell you about, but they're not quite sure if you're the right person to tell to.
Okay. So he lifts his eyebrow as he notices a slight give from her. And he slows up. He said, well, I'll take my leave for now, but you keep smiling and keeping that child very happy. Thank you so much for your time. And he walks off and he looks towards Symarra with a plan.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and help Cypress, and then we'll come back and deal with Nyx, Symarra, and Mogar, okay? All right, Cypress.
Hi.
Hi. So your time now at the apothecary.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Can I just run to the bathroom?
Go for it.
Same here,
So-
small bladder.
While you're with Cypress, it's the good time.
So tell me about the apothecary when I walk up. Like, what am I seeing when I walk through the front door?
Okay. This place appears a bit colder than the Laughing Demon, quite a bit so. You see that this is labeled, it has a sign steepled in gray and charcoal. It says Jaminda's, and it is the apothecary. You can see inside of the window there appears to be a wild series of pharmacological provisions, both herbal and alchemical.
How do the herbal regions look to me? Like, do they look fresh? Do they look old? Do they look?
It varies. It varies. I mean, this is from what you can see from the window. Do you actually enter inside?
Oh no, I actually go inside. Yeah,
Okay, sure.
I want to go inside. Yeah.
Sure. When you step inside of Jaminda's, you can see a middle-aged woman. She seems to be tinkering with a mortar and pestle as she's grinding down a series of stones into powder. There is some kind of noise that you would say is akin to like a bell, but it's an alerting noise to say, hey, someone's here. Inside of these small vials, you can see a variety of chemical reagents, both natural and brune, that seem to be old and fresh.
Okay. I greet her. I put my hand and hail her in a friendly manner and walk sort of towards her. And yeah, I just say hello and introduce myself.
She turns back to you, wipes her hands down. Welcome to Jaminda's. I'm Jaminda. Is there something I can help you with?
Oh, I'm new into town, and I was just wondering if, like, how knowledgeable are you when it comes to potions and herbal remedies and what they can and can't do and, like, what their limitations are? Like, how good are you? And I kind of look at her and it's kind of a friendly kind of challenge.
She kind of bites at the lip, and you hear like this sucking noise from inside of her, like, decent enough. I know my way around a few vials or potions. What exactly are you looking for?
Well, I'm having a hard time going to sleep some nights. Do you have anything that can help me sleep better?
She kind of leans for a moment. She's like, huh, not a surprise. Not a surprise. Have you been in town long?
Not long at all, actually. Just got here last night, ma'am. Here for the funeral. My friend Petey.
Petros? You've come to see Petros. It's a shame. So then... Fine. Explains things. You wouldn't be the first person to come to see me today about any kind of remedies for sleep.
Oh, really? Is it common around here?
Not until recently, no.
I kind of ponder a little bit and kind of stroke my beard and kind of look around like I'm pretending to pay attention to the stuff on the wall and like I'm expecting it, but I'm really kind of just trying to vie her for information a little bit more about this in particular.
Okay.
What recently would cause everybody not to be able to go to sleep?
It's actually a bit of a funny question. I am completely unawares. I don't know what would have caused this, but I know that lately it's plagued some of the citizens of Ravengrow.
Well, perhaps maybe there's something keeping them awake. Do you sell anything like that here?
To keep people awake? No. No, that's... people need sleep. You must understand that it's the body's way of teaching you to relax, recharge, and refresh. Staying awake is not kind to the system. Eventually, you need to let it rest.
Oh, I'm very aware, man. Yeah, it's very good to sleep, but, sometimes people have to stand watch, and sometimes they need a pick-me-up for those times, and you wouldn't happen to sell anything like that here at all?
There are concoctions that I have dabbled with in the past that could provide you with the necessary gumption.
And have you sold any of those recently?
Only to Sheriff Gibb.
Interesting. Okay. I kind of nod and I go back to kind of looking at the wall like I'm inspecting things like a customer would. I want to sort of grab a couple of fairly cheap herbs, just something, it doesn't matter, just the best ones I can find, like just some basil or some regular stuff. Something super cheap that I can kind of take to the table, and I sit down on the table and I just kind of look at her as I'm paying for this, and I just go, what do you think is keeping everybody up at night? I'm curious, because I used to sleep so well, and yeah, as soon as I got here, it's like I've been having nightmares, man.
She looks at the reagents and the compounds that you've brought to the table, and then she looks back to you, sizing you up and down, noting that you've brought a bear into the apothecary.
I was thinking about that.
Well, you said she's outside, right?
Okay, oh, sure.
Yeah. But you can see her from the windows.
Yeah, just at the window. She looks to you and she's like, did Gib put you up to this?
Gib?
I look a little surprised and oh no, you got it all wrong. I don't think he likes me very much. We met last night. You can ask him yourself, man.
Listen, return to Gib and tell him that I will never sleep with him. I am not some cord to be called, and I understand the point of all of the ginseng that he's been buying for his virility. His problem of not rising to the occasion is not my issue.
Went to the wrong place.
Well, like, I don't know anything about that, ma'am, but just throwing this out there, actually, surprisingly and sort of ironically, cucumber is actually way better for male virility than like your typical ginseng. But that's neither here nor there. I don't know what you're saying, but I like you. I appreciate you. And thank you so much for selling me these herbs. And I kind of grab these herbs and I toss the money on the table.
Sure, it's just a few coppers.
I look pretty uncomfortable in this situation, and like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I am not as charismatic as like I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm high as shit. So I'm gonna throw some fucking how much would it cost to buy like the whatever?
Just for the modicum of the components, we'll just say it's like 4 copper.
Okay. I know that I have. You know what? I toss her a gold.
She is befuddled.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money for what?
I'm panicking, and I just want to get out of there quickly. And I don't have like any actual copper pieces, and no way to like exchange them. So I'm just like, all right, well, here you go. Well, I'm like looking. I pull out a good berry. I pull out a joint. Like I pull out. Well, here's, and I finally pull out a gold. I'm like, here you go, and I just put it on the table, and I'm like, still doing the thing.
Like, oh, you pay for the other services.
Yeah, and I'm like out the door, and when I leave the door, I kind of just do like I just kind of look back at the door, and Tima's out there looking at me like, just like, yeah. Okay, so Yeah, I go to catch up with the rest of them in their
Demon.
demon
Okay.
tavern.
That's me.
Yes.
Laughing demon.
All right. So you and Tima will start going into like a light jog down to the demon. The regulars of the town will kind of look on, almost in horror, because to them you look like you sort of look like Robin Williams when he came out of Jumanji, covered in leaves, and there's a bear chasing you. So it looks a little strange to them. Since you're not screaming, they're just trusting that this is some kind of elaborate game, and you can kind of down there.
Since I'm not screaming, like, help, man, help!
Yeah.
I'm being chased by a giant ball. I'm just kidding, guys. This is no big deal. It's a joke. I'm a druid. This is what we do. Go fuck yourselves. I'll see you later.
You arrive at the demon, and there is
You arrive at the demon. Okay.
there is a salute from Zokar as you arrive, and
Is the bear coming in?
your call if the bear comes in or not.
Please
No,
Do
bear
it.
stays outside.
Oh, thank
Okay.
gosh.
She
I have to
understands.
use these people.
Has Zokar had his shots with Nyx yet?
Zokar is pouring various amounts of ale at the bar for Mogar and Nyx. Your food will have been delivered to you. It's a little pricey at this establishment, all things considered.
How am I supposed to eat this without my drink?
You can wait.
How can you wait when there's food in front of you?
Zokar, he looks. He's like, "Well, you can start by swallowing that spit that you're dribbling on my table here."
Ew.
The-
She's a drooler.
He kind of leans in
Hey.
and pushes your chin up to close your mouth. Wait for it. It's fine. It be coming.
Solis turns to Symarra and says, before you indulge in your feast, I might have an idea or two. We may talk over it while we eat.
Sure, I was really looking forward to quiet time, but I can listen and eat. That's I know so much.
The door
Well, I just-
swings wide as you're trying to speak about some kind of plan as you're plotting,
Right,
and Cypress bounds in. Timo waits at the door, borderline blocking the doorway.
So what? Cypress? You looking to be in a hurry?
Oh, well, what do I see when I walk into this? Because do I
This
see
looks-
them all at the same table?
Yeah,
or?
well, so Mogar and Nyx are gonna be at the bar. They're waiting for drinks to be poured for them. Their food is there. Symarra and Solis are with Zokar at a table, and they're preparing to eat. But it looks like Solis is like leaning in to kind of speak with Symarra. This is when you bound in. Remember, it's got this sort of like gaudy, grotesque look to it. It's very fake. He's selling you a fantasy.
Okay. Well, I go sit with Solis at their table.
Okay.
I sit down. I look really uncomfortable. I don't look like I'm do too well sitting in like real chairs and like being around like people and establishments like this. I'm a little out of sorts, and you can tell that on me. I don't feel like I'm in my skin. So I just kind of sit down, and I sort of lean into Solis, and I say, "Hey, man, I think we're gonna have to talk to Gibbs, man."
Oh, do say. So he kind of breaks his conversation with Symarra. Symarra probably enjoys
It's like I am listening in, but
So-
I can do both.
What news do you have? So he's like very interested. So he leans in, like not lean into something, but like kind of like leans down towards the table to hear.
And this is when I decide to tell Solis sort of about everything that happened in the conversation with the Gravekeepers and what they had said, what they had mentioned about the prison sort of maybe sort of possessing people in the middle of the night or making it hard for them to sleep or making them sleepwalk. I tell him that I'm not sure, that I was just over at the apothecary, and that the apothecary didn't really know anything about it, so it doesn't seem chemical in nature from what I can see so far. And then I explained that if we're wanting to sort of investigate this a bit more, that I had a very, very strange... It was a very strange encounter with the apothecary when I purchased some rudimentary goods, man. It was kind of weird. She said that she didn't want to sleep with somebody. I don't know who she meant, but she mentioned Gibbs, and he was there last night, man. And I don't know. I feel like we should talk to this guy. Seems to be popping up in a lot of places.
Yes, it does seem strange. And I had a little talk with a local here at the bar. She doesn't take lightly to say this. I mean, I understand why. I mean, I don't. I'm beautiful, but Symarra or Cypress, I think you might have a crack of it. She seemed to want to tell me something, but held back. I think it's not because maybe it's my race. But there's definitely something going on here.
I feel I want to ask Zokar about. Did I hear the conversation between Cypress and Solis there, Hello?
Yeah, I was talking loud enough that you could hear. I wasn't trying to keep it from you necessarily, but maybe other around there or anybody around.
People keep staying up in the night and being possessed. This reminds me of the journal, the professor's journal about ghosts. I really do think that we should investigate soon. Zokar, have you heard any of these rumors? What do you know about
is bounding
ghosts?
back and forth from the bar. Like, you're definitely not his only customers, so he's kind of making sure that everyone's okay. He is the host, the waitstaff, and the chef.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a good.
He'll know so much.
Well, that's a good thing. Like, we can ask, you know. So let's be like, Zokar, when you come back at the table, I have quite a question for you.
Okay. All right.
Is he back?
Yeah, he'll cycle back around, making sure that everyone has freshened drinks.
When he comes to, oops.
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead.
Sorry. When he comes to my cycle through, and he comes to my end, or our end, because Nyx is next to me, I'm gonna have, or Mogar will have, already drinking 1 or 2 ales, because again, he's huge. He can drink quite a bit of ales, and it does not bother him whatsoever. But again, I know that I do not have as much coin, so I'm trying to limit myself at that, as well as I believe I have a package, or not a package, or I have a canteen of ale that I'm traveling with. I don't know, so I think I have it on here. I have to double check. But yeah, man. So I'm just grabbing one. I'll be like, Mogar needs more ale.
Well,
I second that. I would like another one too, please.
The ale be flowing when the coin follow.
So Solis overhears this, looks back, and thinks to himself, if I don't calm this big beastly of a man, things will not go as smoothly as I plan. So Solis raised, Mogar, I'll spot you the coin this time, and tosses, I don't know how much it is, but we'll toss it on the table. Oh, toss like a few coins on the table.
So, like, copper, silver, or gold?
How
much is the drinks?
How many do we start with, if you remember? Like, I don't have anything.
I have a lot.
You have to buy your provisions beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
so
Mogar,
I've got like 77 gold.
I
have nothing.
You spent all of it on your equipment.
My sheet doesn't have my gold.
Wait, where is the gold at anyway?
It's on the bottom left, right?
Yeah, it's the very
on
bottom
the
left.
second.
I have
no
a good bit.
money. I have no money.
Nyx,
I have a lot.
Your character had 10 gold, 10 silver, 10 copper.
Okay.
Why have I spent like nothing?
Well, it's because
No, you eat the most.
you realize that having like 134 potatoes was unreasonable.
Well, Bob told me off for bringing chicken and herbs. I would have been the best person in this group for the meal.
We would have been even more best friends than we already are.
Yeah. Well, if Nyx is struggling for crime, she can go somewhere else.
All right, continued. Sorry about that. Continue.
Okay. So how much are the drinks? So Zokar, how much are these wonderful drinks that you bought for?
It just depends if you guys are going for like harder liquor or if you're going for just the straight stout.
Can I have that tea?
Tea can be brewed. In this case, if you're just gonna go for the straight stout, then it's probably like 3 coppers.
Okay.
A mug, if you will, a deer horn of ale.
So 3 copper.
What
I'll
about
throw
10
a couple
I'm a
silver,
bigger dude.
couple silver on the table.
Okay.
Couple silver. Zokar will be on me. I mean, not Zokar. Jesus. Mogar. Your next drinks will be on me.